What's up everyone, welcome back to Black Mama Wing Chun. So the reason I'm doing this video today is I realized that when I was talking about shadow boxing and talking about kind of how to close the gap, I was telling you to focus on coming off the line as you're closing in. So that's one of the key tactics in Wing Chun. Doing it correctly makes the difference between this tactic working and allowing you to get in close to your opponent and this tactic failing and you getting knocked out coming in. The reason it's so critical is because if you imagine, okay, you and I are sparring right here. I decide I'm just going to rush in and close the gap. The problem is you are naturally going to throw punches as I come in. Now, in Wing Chun, we use our momentum, okay, and the weight of our body coming behind our strikes to add power to our strikes. That's kind of the nature of it. The problem is it goes both ways. So if I'm just rushing in, okay, my rushing in also adds power to your punch as you're throwing it. So if my head's in the way as I'm rushing and I rush my face right towards your fist, that's going to be an automatic knockout for you. Okay, so there's incredible danger there. So we gotta be super, super careful. So the way I want you to envision this, okay? So you and I are sparring here, right? I gotta close this gap. I gotta close this gap to get into you. For me, what I'm trying to envision, and if you're trying to close the gap on me, here we are, you gotta close the gap on me. I want you to envision, it's almost like there's a floating invisible minefield. There's a big mine that could blow up, a bomb that's right in front where my reach is. So for me, I'm trying to close it on you. I imagine there's this big bomb floating in space there. That bomb is where you can throw those punches, okay? At all costs, I don't want my head to be where that bomb is. If I touch that bomb, it's gonna blow up. That's how I think about it, okay? That allows me, when I'm doing that visualization, when I'm coming in, I go off and I'm coming away from that bomb so that I can come in and strike. So that's what I'm trying to do, okay? The reason I have this camera at a crazy angle here is one of the most important things. My Sifu always really focused on it. He would always be correcting it when people were coming in. And I came to understand why it's so important, okay? It has to do with the position of your feet. It's kind of make or break on this one, all right? So if I'm trying to close the gap, I'm trying to rush in. If I step this way, I gotta back up so you can see my feet. I wouldn't be this far away. If I step this way to come off the line, okay? So I'm trying to come straight forward. I'm trying to come towards you. I step this way. My energy now is not facing in the right direction. So if I place my foot here, my energy is going this way. So that when I come here, it's not pushing in the correct, it's not gonna give me the spring, the energy, that triangular force that we need in Wing Chun to come forward. It won't work correctly, okay? Because my energy is going this way. It should be going this way. This is key, and this is feels a little unnatural. It's the part that really takes practice. You can't drill this enough, okay? So when I'm here, I want to close this gap. When I step, just remember this one thing. It's the most important, okay? When I step, I place my foot pointing to where I want to go, okay? So even though I'm coming off the line, I'm coming towards you, I place my foot pointing towards you. So I'm off the line, it's pointing towards you, so that when I spring, all that energy comes forward. It's not going this way, it's going towards you. If you don't understand, tell me in the comments, because it's super, super important, okay? So again, when I'm here, I'm trying to close the gap. As I step, when you're stepping, you've got to point your foot that's going to spring off, you've got to point it where you want to go. So I'm pointing to where I want to go. That way I load up this leg like a spring. Okay, so when I spring, my energy is all going where it should be going instead of off to the side. It's a huge difference. It's really, really important, okay? So two really, really fundamental aspects here, okay, for this tactic to work. This tactic's key. You're not gonna be able to get in without getting hit without using it, okay? So you're loading up that leg. I'm pointing where I wanna go. So my spring here is pointing to where I want to go. I'm coming off the line, okay? And then when I launch forward, boom, I'm throwing up this, ideally, okay? You're here. I want to throw this punch here instead of this one because I don't want to leave my head open. This actually has intercepting potential when it comes forward, okay? The other thing you can do, which I would always do here if you can, is when I'm coming in here, planting this load in this spring, coming off the line, boom, and throwing that kick, and then coming in, and then launching fist first as you come in. There's a lot going on there, okay? But the most important things, two things. First one, make sure that foot, okay, is pointing where you want to go. You're coming off the line as you come in, and then as you come in, I'm imagining that I'm getting around. I'm gonna go closer because that's where I would be. You already know where my foot is. When I'm here, here's this imaginary bomb in front of me. That's where your range is, where you can throw those punches. I don't want my head to hit the bomb, okay? So when I come here, I'm coming off the line, I'm getting around that bomb, boom, and then I'm throwing in here, intercepting potential, and also launching in to try to bridge that gap. Chum Q, seeking the bridge. That idea, okay, we use this to come in and seek the bridge. I'll do another demo. We're gonna do a little bit more live. I don't have anyone available to help me right now, but it makes more sense when you can see someone throwing the punches and you get to kind of see how this works. Okay, a quick introduction is I want to make sure you understood what I'm talking about when I'm talking about bridging that gap and coming off the line, because you have to have those tools to make it work. I hope that's helpful. It was like an emergency. I said, I gotta make sure I explain this properly in case someone's trying to use this, because I don't want you walking into punches, okay? So that's why I made it short and quick, but I'll do a longer one later on to explain it in a little bit more detail, but that's the basics. Most important stuff is right there, all right? Until next time, stay strong, keep training. We'll see you right back here at Black Mamba Wing Chun.